See, the more consumers are aware of the healthcare benefits and the risks, there is also the risk of a greater liability for the healthcare providers. So, how do you think that the healthcare companies are getting themselves prepared to face the kind of litigations or the issues that are associated with the healthcare?
Well, look, everybody, and there is lots of economic and social analysis that have been done around the world, lots of studies, that it's better to have a healthy workforce, it's better to have a healthy population than an unhealthy one. It's better for your economic prosperity, it's better for your social fabric of society. There aren't many people that I come across that would argue against wanting to encourage and improve the healthiness of the population. So, that I think is the way that we need to look at it. And it works economically, it works socially, it works politically, and you can see some of the pressures that the politicians are under in different parts of the world, where the growing incomes, the growing middle class that, as defined by the OECD, that as income levels go up, so the population is looking for quality of life measures that are really important to them in a higher way than they would have been 5 or 10 years ago. And that again is a one-way street. That's only going to increase. And by quality of life, I'm talking about health, certainly. I'm talking about education. I'm talking about housing. I'm talking about clean water. I'm talking about infrastructure. It's the sort of quality of life measures, if you like, that people are looking for around the world. And we've seen, demonstrations, we've seen pressures that have been put on governments in different parts of the world where the quality of life sort of measures, including health, not just health, but health is pretty much high up the agenda, have been demanded and certainly, sought by that burgeoning middle class with income. So I think that political pressure is the same as some of the economic and social aspects as well.
I'm talking about the medical legal, issues which probably can impact the profitability of the hospitals. So, purely from that angle, how do you think that governments or hospitals or the industry can tackle this issue?
Well, quality is always going to be a big issue. You've got to deliver the very best quality that you can, and providing second-rate quality, particularly where there is increased transparency. You're seeing a thirst for the data that is coming out. How effective? What's the quality measures? Is that how do you compare? How do you benchmark? And there is increasing transparency, and that increasing transparency tends to drive up quality because nobody wants to be at the bottom of the pile. Nobody wants to be other than towards the top. You may not want to be right at the top, or you may not be able to be right at the top, but you certainly don't want to be at the bottom. And therefore that increasing transparency, I think, will lead to increased quality. Yeah, there are always going to be legal pressures when the system breaks down. There are always going to be difficulties that people have to deal with. We don't live in a perfect world. Things happen. Things go wrong, not just in health, but right across the spectrum. And where things go wrong, we're going to have to deal with them.
How profitable is this healthcare business globally? I just wanted to benchmark against whether it's the same as in India, whether you find that there are means and ways to make it more profitable through innovations or the transformation which I've been talking about.
Well, I don't think that you would be seeing the sorts of investments that you're seeing in health around the world from different players unless there was decent profit to be made. But I also make the point that a number of players are driven by a deeper sense of purpose, that they really care about the delivery of health. You know, we at PwC are driven by a very, very strong sense of purpose, that we are here to help make a difference. Now, we're not going to do it alone, obviously, but to be in conjunction with a number of other players that can help improve the health and well-being of people around the world, can help improve health systems in different parts of the world. And you're seeing a number of organizations, not just PwC, but I mention PwC because obviously I know us best, but you're seeing a number of people, organizations, foundations, aid agencies, NGOs that are wanting to do the right thing to improve health, because it's the right thing to do. It's a really important, as I said right up front at the top of this interview, there aren't many, I can't think of any sectors that impact society, that impact human beings, that impact all of us on a day-to-day basis more than health. So that is why a lot of people are investing in the sector, because of its importance.
Are we seeing an unbundling of the healthcare services? Are we seeing more defined roles for each and every player in the healthcare sector?
Yes, we are, and that comes from a desire, just as many other sectors have done in the past, to really assess, where am I adding the best value here? And is there another entity, another party that can actually do something in a better way, perhaps at a cheaper cost? So if you look at some of the ministries of health, by way of example, around the world, they've evolved over a period of years, and they've been an employer, and they've been a regulator, and they've been a provider of care, and they've done pretty much everything in the health ecosystem. And a number of those ministries are turning around and saying, well, what is the crucial piece? What's the crucial piece of the jigsaw here that we have to do that nobody else can do?
Thank you. Thanks.